Get ready to dive into stories that go beyond the ordinary. I created this channel to challenge your imagination and give you a front row seat to compelling, advanced narratives. To keep these stories coming, please subscribe, like, and share with others who love this great story. Title: 4-star domain competition begins.
Xu Jianqing and Guan Ru's conversation, although deliberately lowered in volume, was still overheard by those nearby. Lin Moyu's name was mentioned, and it immediately drew attention. Someone said, indeed, purely from the perspective of realm, Lin Moyu is indeed at the bottom among us, except for a few from the War God Hall. The War God Hall members are not to be trifled with. If someone wants to prove something, they might really target Lin Moyu. But that depends on whether Lin Moyu agrees. If he doesn't, no one can force him. Don't forget, Chu Shang, the little god sovereign, once said that Lin Moyu could slay a god sovereign while still in the god king realm. Can't you tell he was just boasting to fool us? Chu Shang's words indeed lack credibility. Chu Shang had previously claimed that Lin Moyu could slay a god sovereign while still in the god king realm, and everyone was initially taken aback. But upon reflection, it was clear that Chu Shang was exaggerating. Now, most people were skeptical, and a few outright disbelieved it. They knew Lin Moyu's combat prowess was extraordinary, capable of fighting across several levels. With Lin Moyu's 3rd rank God King realm, challenging those at the 7th or 8th rank was normal. After all, someone who could top the 3 rankings of the Vermilion Bird Star domain couldn't be simple. But to say he could single-handedly defeat a God Sovereign was too much. Even a little God Sovereign couldn't defeat a full-fledged God Sovereign. These discussions were mostly confined to those from the Divine City and hadn't spread widely. In the days following their arrival on the island, people began to form cliques, and factions gradually emerged. The War God Hall formed one group, the Divine City another, and the cultivators from the 4 major star domains formed yet another. Among them, the cultivators from the Divine City and the 4 major star domains were closer, forming a united front. The cultivators from the 4 major star domains would eventually enter the Divine City to live and train together. The War God Hall, being a self-contained system, naturally became isolated. Moreover, the War God Hall members always looked down on others, making them quite unpopular. It could be said that no one liked them. Suddenly, the formation in the central square activated, projecting a giant image of a black tortoise in the sky. The black tortoise had the body of a turtle and the head of a dragon, with a long dragon tail extending from its back. Legend has it that the black tortoise has some connection with the ancestors of the dragon race, and its body contains blood similar to that of the dragon race. It is even said that the black tortoise can be considered a relative of the azure dragon. But legends are just legends and shouldn't be taken too seriously. The sudden activation of the formation drew everyone's attention. People reluctantly shifted their gaze from Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan to the black tortoise image. Someone saw the black tortoise image and shouted, "Today is the competition for the black tortoise star domain. I wonder which star system it is." The Black Tortoise star domain is the largest among the 4 major star domains, with the most high-level life star systems, totaling 20. They always have the most strong contenders, but unfortunately, their ultimate combat power is not as good as the Azure Dragon star domain. They can only compete with the White Tiger star domain. A seed contestant from the Black Tortoise star domain chuckled, "We in the Black Tortoise star domain focus on defense. Our attack power may not be sufficient, but mastering one skill is better than being mediocre at many. Although we rarely win the championship, we are always 2nd or 3rd, never at the bottom. This time, our goal is still to secure 2nd place and strive for 1st. The seed contestants from the Black Tortoise star domain were equally confident, openly stating their goals. A seed contestant from the White Tiger star domain sneered, "Coincidentally, our White Tiger star domain also aims to secure 2nd place and strive for 1st. With Fairy Han on our side, you Black Tortoise star domain folks might end up in 3rd place." The Black Tortoise star domain people were not convinced, "We'll see." In their discussions, they unconsciously ranked the Azure Dragon star domain first. Because in most past competitions, the Azure Dragon star domain ranked highest. And the worst performer was usually the Vermilion Bird star domain. The best result in the history of the Vermilion Bird star domain was 2nd place, achieved only once or twice. More than 80% of the time, they were at the bottom among the 4 star domains. As the Black Tortoise star domain people said, they excelled in one area, with clear strengths and weaknesses. The Vermilion Bird star domain, on the other hand, was mediocre in everything. Chu Shang snorted, "You guys are dreaming. This year, the 1st place belongs to our Vermilion Bird star domain." Ha! Chu Shishang, you're dreaming. Chu Shishong, have some shame. You may be a little god sovereign, and I won't argue with you, but you should know the combat power of the Vermilion Bird Star domain. Chu Shong was left speechless, angrily retorting, we'll see. Not only Chu Shong, but the other Vermilion Bird Star domain people also looked defiant. But the fact was that they were indeed inferior to the others. Mere defiance was useless. Zhuang Bai remained indifferent throughout, as if he wasn't from the Vermilion Bird Star domain. Chu Shong turned to Zhuang Bai, old Zhuang, say something. Zhuang Bai calmly said, facts speak louder than words. The arena will reveal the truth. What's the point of arguing now? Besides, didn't you say Lin Shidi could slay a god sovereign while still in the god king realm? With him around, what are you worried about? Chu Shong's face turned red, scratching his head and muttering, you know I was just boasting to fool them. Zhuang Bai remained calm, maybe your boast will come true. The projection changed again, the black tortoise image disappearing and replaced by a star system. This star system was extremely prosperous, with 7 life planets and 18 resource planets. It was a star system with 25 main planets. Such a large star system was undoubtedly a high-level life star system. A seed contestant from the Black Tortoise star domain recognized the star system in the projection and shouted, it's the Black Tortoise number 9 life star system, my hometown. The number 9 life star system in the projection quickly expanded, finally settling in the starry sky. A massive arena, over 10,000 miles in diameter, had been built there, covered by formations. To showcase real combat power, the 4-star domain competition was held in reality. The entire event was controlled by the Human Emperor Network, with powerful formations set up by god sovereigns, ensuring no accidents and almost no fatalities. Next, the projection displayed information about the 2 combatants. One was named Shui Hongbo, a 7th-rank god king, skilled in the laws of cold water. The other was named Feng Fu, also a 7th-rank god king, skilled in the laws of solid ice. After the formation introduced the 2 contestants, everyone received information about placing bets. The betting range started from 10,000 points, with no upper limit. The odds were fixed, with winners doubling their points and losers losing their bet. Someone shouted, place your bets. I'm betting 100,000 points on Shui Hongbo to win. I'm betting 100,000 points on Feng Fu to win. The scene was lively, and previous conflicts vanished. Only the War God Hall members stood aloof, looking proud. But they also placed bets, just not openly. Xu Jianxing approached Lin Moyu. Lin Shishong, want to place a bet? Lin Moyu smiled, glancing at Lin Mohan beside him, interested. Lin Mohan shook her head, child's play, not worth betting on. Lin Moyu said, one can learn from others. Knowing oneself and the enemy leads to 100 victories. Xu Shidi, who did you bet on? Xu Jianxing laughed, I just placed a random bet on Shui Hongbo. He looks more pleasing to the eye. Lin Moyu also casually bet on Shui Hongbo to win, placing 100,000 points, just for fun. A few minutes later, the match began. Lin Moyu watched as Shui Hongbo and Feng Fu went all out, engaging in a fierce battle. The laws of cold water and solid ice are both water-based laws, known for their defensive properties. Both fighters had far superior defensive capabilities compared to their offensive power, indicating that the battle would last a long time. Someone from the White Tiger Star domain complained, the Black Tortoise Star domain's matches are the most boring. They always take half a day. Exactly, they're not as exciting as the Azure Dragon Star domain or the White Tiger Star domain. Even the Vermilion Bird Star domain is better than the Black Tortoise Star domain. If we're talking about excitement, the Black Tortoise Star domain is undoubtedly the worst. This was a fact, and even those from the Black Tortoise Star domain couldn't refute it. Someone grumbled, that's just our style, deal with it. Lin Moyu lost interest after watching for a while. As Lin Mohan had said, it was like child's play. If he were to participate, he could end it instantly. In the central square, matches from various star domains were projected daily. This allowed seed contestants to observe the strong fighters from each star domain, a benefit for the seed contestants. However, the strongest seed contestants from each star domain were already gathered here. Most of those who made it through the preliminaries were just there to fill the numbers. After reaching level 5 permissions, Lin Moyu had already reviewed the basic information of each star domain. Among the 4 major star domains, the Azure Dragon Star domain was the strongest. Cultivators from the Azure Dragon Star domain were the best in offensive capabilities among the 4 star domains, and their defense was second only to the Black Tortoise Star domain, making their overall combat power the best. It is said that the Azure Dragon Star domain once had primordial dragon blood, giving its cultivators a trace of dragon bloodline. This trace of dragon bloodline provided a special boost, making them inherently stronger and highly enviable. The Black Tortoise star domain ranked first in defense among the 4-star domains but had relatively weak offensive power. Water-based laws were the most prominent in the Black Tortoise star domain. Over time, many cultivators in the Black Tortoise star domain had comprehended water-based laws, followed by earth and stone laws. These laws shared a common characteristic: extremely strong defense. Besides being the best in defense, the Black Tortoise star domain had another special ability. They pioneered the method of water refining, using water to refine artifacts and counter the explosiveness of fire, creating a large number of war artifacts and puppets for the human race. For example, replicas of the war god fortress and various large warships mostly came from the Black Tortoise star domain. Additionally, the Black Tortoise star domain had a unique type of cultivator known as summoners, rarely seen in other star domains. It is said that the summoner's heritage is ancient, even older than ancient times, and became part of the Black Tortoise star domain's bloodline through a fortunate encounter. The summoners of the Black Tortoise star domain were unique, piquing Lin Moyu's interest. Unfortunately, the records were not detailed enough to provide a full picture. Lin Moyu planned to take advantage of the 4-star domain competition to observe closely. Cultivators from the White Tiger star domain favored using swords, and various laws could be applied to their swords, evolving and transforming. Their offensive capabilities were slightly inferior to the Azure Dragon star domain, and their defense was slightly inferior to the Black Tortoise star domain. The White Tiger star domain also had a unique feature: the power of belief originated from there. After years of development, it had become one of the human race's fundamental forces. Through the power of belief, cultivators in the White Tiger star domain could train quickly and build a solid foundation. The power of belief not only accelerated training and comprehension of laws but also had more mysterious uses. However, only a few people could use this ability, as it had very high requirements. Lin Moyu had asked Lin Mohan, who possessed strong belief power and was very famous in the White Tiger star domain, with countless fans. Lin Mohan told him that the mysterious uses of belief power varied from person to person and could only be awakened at the God Sovereign level. The stronger the accumulated belief power before reaching the God Sovereign level, the stronger the awakened ability. This was why Sword Orchid God Sovereign had been promoting her, to help her accumulate belief power. Lastly, the Vermilion Bird star domain was known for being average in everything. They were not particularly outstanding in any area but had a bit of everything. Unfortunately, this resulted in their overall strength being weak, often ranking last. After reviewing the information, Lin Moyu felt that the cultivators of the Vermilion Bird star domain were the most orthodox among the human race. Their bloodline was the purest, inherited from the ancient human race, without any changes. The ancient human race, as one of the 4 original races, had a bloodline no less than that of the dragon race. However, due to the long passage of time, the bloodline had become too thin and difficult to discover. But once discovered, their combat power would be extraordinary. Xiao Zhanshan was the best example, hailing from the Vermilion Bird star domain. As the information about the 4-star domains flashed through his mind, the match had already been going on for a while. The 2 contestants had already used their artifacts, and surprisingly, both had similar artifacts: a large sword and a large shield. They fought back and forth, evenly matched. Their cultivation levels were equal, and their strengths were similar, making it hard to determine a winner. The audience was already losing interest, with some even yawning. To these seed contestants, such matches were really boring. Lin Moyu found it strange: their cultivation levels seemed to be suppressed. Although he wasn't present, just watching the projection, he keenly noticed that the power of their spells didn't match their levels. Xu Jianxing asked, "Lin Shishong, don't you know the rules of the 4-star domain competition?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "No one told me." Xu Jianxing wasn't surprised and explained in detail, "Actually, the rules of the 4-star domain competition are very simple. The first rule is that all contestants' levels will be uniformly suppressed to the first rank of the God King realm. The second rule is that you cannot use artifacts with artifact spirits, nor can you use artifacts of the God King realm or higher. The third rule is that soul attacks are prohibited. The fourth rule is that you cannot intentionally harm someone's life. The fifth rule is that when the Human Emperor Network calls for a stop, you must stop immediately. These are the 5 rules, there are no other restrictions." Lin Moyu naturally understood these rules. The 4-star domain competition mainly tested individual strength. If everyone relied on artifacts, it would be meaningless. Those from large families would inevitably have access to powerful artifacts, turning the competition into an artifact contest. Suppressing everyone's level to the first rank of the God King realm was also understandable. Contestants had varying levels of strength, and without uniform levels, there would be no point in competing. One of the purposes of the 4-star domain competition was to select potential human geniuses. What defines potential? At the very least, one must be invincible at the same level. If you can fight across levels, so can I. It all comes down to who is stronger. As for prohibiting soul attacks and not harming lives, it was the same principle. This was a competition, not a life and death battle. Soul attacks were silent and difficult for even the Human Emperor Network to stop in time. Therefore, it was better to ban them altogether. The Human Emperor Network acted as the competition's overseer. If it called for a stop and you continued to fight, it would be foolish. Disobedient individuals, no matter how talented, would not be valued. Lin Moyu thanked Xu Jianxing. Thank you, Xu Shidi, for the explanation. Xu Jianxing waved his hand. No need to be polite, Lin Shishong. This is just basic information. Even if I didn't tell you, you would soon find out. Lin Moyu smiled and suddenly looked into the distance. Thousands of kilometers away, a powerful pressure was approaching unabashedly.